unfortunately, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait till Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way.
This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who is targeting Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down.
You all know better, Shannon. Much shit is you talking, like you say you won't even get on the elevator with a woman by yourself. How you at the gym and you let this 20-year-old, damn near teeny bopper, little old young white get you 50 mil? You offered a pink toe Peckerwood 10 million, boy.
Charleston White ripped into Shannon Sharpe this time, holding nothing back. Shannon returned with a bang after rumors circulated about his alleged $23 million hush deal and sudden, low-key exit from ESPN. The internet rapidly caught fire, and Charleston made sure to add fuel to the flames. According to him, Shannon was the sole cause of the incident, and he did it over a snow bunny. Indeed, precisely. Charleston yelled it out loud and clear. For weeks, there had been speculation about Shannon's connection to OnlyFans model Gabriella Zuniga. There were rumors that things were dirtier than they looked on paper. When the $50 million lawsuit came to light, people had a suspicion that something was amiss.
Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Gabriella said that Shannon had gone too far, touching her physically in addition to seriously hurting her mental health. When your name is as well known as Shannon's, you don't leave a story like that untangled. But just when it seemed like things might be cooling off, she dropped a bombshell, a secret phone recording between her and Shannon. It didn't look like a man fighting to keep his reputation clean during the call, to be honest. According to reports, he came across as loud, angry, and plain nasty. At that point, online people started picking sides. Some called it a shakedown, while others interpreted it as proof that Shannon had committed a grave error.
You're dealing with a young, 20-year-old, conniving, manipulative, low-down, white. I'm talking about a dirty. You all know better, Shannon. Much as you talking, like you say you won't even get on the elevator with a woman by yourself. How you at the gym and you let this 20-year-old, damn near teeny bopper, little old young white get you 50 mil?
In an effort to minimize the harm, Shannon immediately made a "I didn't do nothing wrong" statement online. Additionally, he attacked her attorney, Tony Busby, accusing him of orchestrating the lawsuit and asserting that all of the events were mutually agreed upon. He went after Jay-Z, Diddy, and now me, he said, accusing Busby of targeting wealthy black men. Shannon even threatened to countersuit for slander. But all of a sudden, it was discovered that he had allegedly paid $23 million to resolve the issue in secret so that it would disappear.
That's why I stay at the strip club. With real. When you dealing with whole problems, you ain't got these problems. You dealing with these little just trying to hit a lick. You dealing with a young, 20-year-old, conniving, manipulative, low-down, white. I'm talking about a dirty, funky hunk.
At that time, everyone started to seriously disapprove of the story. After all, if you're innocent, why settle? Why cough up that kind of bread unless there was a major issue? Additionally, Charleston White was spot on. Despite Shannon's incessant posturing about avoiding elevators with white women in order to prevent trouble, he called him out, saying that he was caught slipping. Now he's out here in the gym, sweatpants on, No drawers, letting a 20-year-old snow bunny press up on him, Charleston added, mocking him harshly.
Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've...
Charleston went on from there. He asserted that Shannon had forgotten the real rules of the game, sold out, and traded in the streets for a business suit. According to Charleston, Shannon thought he was too crafty and well-groomed to be caught. However, the streets always catch up when you stop listening.
Shannon Sharpe, he really don't like me. I done call all the football players me big old dumb stupid. So I done offended and insulted everybody. Yeah. But you gotta understand, homie, I done said some horrible things about Dion and the boys. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this an alumni.
Yeah, that's why.
I said some horrible things about Dion is the modern day Bill Cosby and them boys is Theo Huxtable and yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's the modern day of that. This is who we, so we idolize this family. Dion is the ideal father in the black community. This is, yeah. So, and here I am attacking him in his toe in his boy.
He said Shannon should have kept with ladies who knew the game instead of someone who saw him as a possible revenue stream. In summary, Charleston White is unapologetically bold, unvarnished, and clearly indifferent to celebrities who lose touch with their heritage. Gabriella wasn't even the same lady who was involved in Shannon's unpleasant Instagram Live episode last September, which made the story worse. Charleston White claimed that this was not a single mistake but rather a pattern. Shannon experimented with fire and ended up getting burned this time. Charleston's message was clear-cut but severe. Shannon fled the streets for suits, and now those suits are turning on him. He cautioned, "Never let your guard down when the cameras are watching and money is on the line," and said Shannon had overlooked the unwritten rule. Shannon's tearful apology after being fired by ESPN only made the situation worse. He went live and pleaded with his brother Sterling for forgiveness after being fired shortly before being inducted into the Hall of Fame, saying that he had stolen his moment. Shannon apologized for letting his followers down. Charleston, on the other hand, rejected it and called it medicine after death. He reminded everyone that Monique once warned Shannon about young women who just wait to take advantage of men in positions of power. Cat Williams even simply told him that Club Shay Shay should leave those white girls alone. Shannon laughed and rejected it, acting unbeatable. Now everything is collapsing. Charleston observed that Shannon used to be a boss but now behaves like a pawn. "He's the damn puppet," Charleston said, even though he thought he was in charge of the game. To be honest, the timing couldn't be worse. According to insiders, Shannon lost both his ESPN position and a potential $100 million media agreement. That is a huge collapse for a man who built his business on charm and hard work. Fans began mocking him on the internet, saying that he paid Gabriella more than he did in the NFL. Others joked that he paid an OnlyFans model as if she had just won the Super Bowl. The disappointment was deep because people thought Shannon was that guy. Strong, outspoken, smart, and committed to his values. Now they are questioning everything. Charleston's words, "If you ain't street no more, you gone," had a deep emotional impact. He asserted that Shannon's death was due to karma rather than bad luck. Additionally, Charleston said, "You have forgotten your origins. And the streets take your crown when you do that." The man who was once disciplined and wise is now popular for all the wrong reasons. Brand contracts, endorsements, and Shannon's podcast are all at risk. One bad choice made with the wrong person might quickly undo years of hard work. In Charleston's own words, Shannon thought he could get away with it, but reality caught up with him. Charleston didn't stop then. He persisted in attacking Shannon as though it were personal. The whole controversy, he said, showed what happens when a man forgets where he came from. He asserts that Shannon failed to understand that fame does not protect one from consequences, and instead gave up his street smarts for Hollywood glitz. Charleston claims that Shannon used to be one of them, but now is acting like them. That really got to Shannon since she had always been appreciated for her honesty. But according to Charleston, the disguise came off soon. He claimed that Shannon started to overestimate himself and believed that his notoriety made him untouchable. The moment you think that, Charleston said, the game reminds you who's in charge. He accused Shannon of preaching discipline and respect while skulking around with young women who sought to benefit enormously from his collapse. Charleston brought attention to the speed at which Gabriella's tale shifted, from fan-sharing selfies at the gym to crying on assault recordings. You can't show these girls money and influence and expect them to be loyal, he said. She needed leverage, not affection. Charleston called Gabriella's secret tape her insurance policy, a ticket to an impeccable payoff. Then, claiming that Shannon's apology tour was a fake show of atonement, he attacked it once more. His words were, "Those were not tears of guilt. It was fear, the fear of losing your future and your reputation." The internet agreed. Shannon only apologized after the money was lost, according to supporters. It expanded beyond the case to include hypocrisy. How quickly celebrities change their morals after the cameras stop rolling. Charleston reprimanded Shannon for blaming Tony Busby, saying that no one forced him into the circumstance. He commented, "You yourself walked into that fire." He compared Shannon's demise to that of every other famous person who thought that fame could excuse bad decisions.